Yo YouTube, welcome back to the Grown Kid Talk Show, and we have another Assassin's Creed Valhalla video, and after 145 hours, I'm ready to talk about it. So this won't come as a surprise to some of you, but our review style here is we take 5 reviews from the most reputable reviewers and critics in gaming journalism. So that's IGN, Games Radar, Metacritic, Kotaku, and Polygon. Now, a couple things. First, Metacritic is technically 2 scores, the Metascore and the user score. We take both of those and average them together to get 1 score. Kotaku and Polygon do not give lettered or numbered grades. So based on their essay, we assign them a grade here, and I always tend to err on the side of caution. So if it's positive, I might be a little too positive, and if it's negative, I still will probably give it the benefit of the doubt, because I want this to be as fair as possible. I only review games I play and I beat. So if you do like the video, leave a like, as that lets me know what kind of content I should make. This is my 145-hour review, and I still stand by what I said. This is the worst Assassin's Creed game I've ever played.
Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show.
So here are all of our scores broken down. The 80 is the meta score, the 73 is the user score on a scale of 100. We add those two together, divide by 2 to get our 1 score for Metacritic. We add the 4.5 times 20, which is the 4.5 from Games Radar on a scale of 100. We add our 80 from IGN and our 85 from Kotaku and the 85 from Polygon. We get a total of 416.5 for our 5 reviewers. We divide all of that and we get an 83.3. And on this show, a final score for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, an 83 out of 100 from IGN, Games Radar, Kotaku, Polygon, and Metacritic. An 83 is just way too high for this game. Now, I'm going to be real. I know that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is recently either the fastest or the most sold Assassin's Creed in franchise history. I'm all for that. That's cool. I believe Ac Valhalla came at a really good time in the gaming industry, whereas there wasn't much to play, and if you didn't get a next-gen console, you kind of were stuck with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. There was really no competition at the time. And I want you to take notice that Ubisoft released 2 games basically within a month of each other. We can blame the pandemic all we want. I don't think it took much effort to make either one of the games. I think they're probably both very basic. Now for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, some of my problems. The Layla storyline, to me, is trash. All they did was create a the world is ending event, and now we can thankfully move on from Layla. I found her very uninteresting in the last couple games, and the overarching story is just pathetically weak, creating another event. Now on to the ending of the actual game. Again, one of the most lacklusters I've ever seen in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I don't know if this is DLC bait, but I damn sure won't be playing DLC for this game. Just like I really didn't play a DLC for Odyssey or Origins, because it's all about the mythology shit, and that's not Assassin's Creed to me. After 145 hours, I can say that I was overpowered pretty early. I didn't find a real difficulty in the meaningful content, as in the assassinations, or the bosses, or the sieges. Once you realize you could just run through the sieges and not have to fight everybody or fight anything really, you just run to the end, do whatever mechanics they ask you, and just keep running and avoiding everything. A little bit overpowered, might have something to do with that. Again, do a better job of making players not get overpowered after the first 2 fucking regions. Those sieges got old fast. They got their Viking game, good for them. I want this to go back to Assassin's Creed. The game is okay, average at best. And 8.3 is way too high. The game is probably a 7-ish, and if I want to be really hard on it and a stickler for what it is, it's probably a 6. Anywhere in the 8 range is abysmally high for this game. As you saw in the reviews, they were very passive-aggressive. They mentioned something, but it didn't hurt the game's score. You talk about the animus being the worst part of the game. You want to focus on mythology. You talk about how the character choice, being a male or a female, felt hollow. Those are big narrative problems. with the game, but somehow the game gets an 83 out of 100. These are reviews done by people who are enamored with the graphics, and to be honest, the graphics were rather lackluster. The facial animations don't hold a candle to something like Death Stranding, to The Last of Us, to Ghost of Tsushima. It's just very basic. And to think that they're doing us old fans a service by bringing back some assassination type gameplay. And let's forget the fact that they've kind of fucked up the story with now making the Order of the Ancients and the Templars kind of separate. I read the data logs in the game. Apparently Odin, Tyr, Freya, and Loki are like precursors to the precursors of the Isu. I don't know. And I could say that about many Assassin's Creed games. I don't know. But it was the good kind of I don't know. This is the kind that says, wow, Ubisoft, you really don't care about the franchise anymore. The game is lackluster. Like we heard, there is no wow factor. There is no nuance. That's my take on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It is the worst Assassin's Creed game because it's a Viking game, as we heard many other people say. It is a average subpar game. Let me know what you think about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Is Ubisoft's representation of Valhalla as good as something like God of War's representation and their characters? I know I talk a lot, I know I rambled, I fucking ranted because Assassin's Creed Valhalla isn't an Assassin's Creed game, but it's an average game kind of. I'm the Grown Kid and I'll catch you back in another video.